Alright, I'm gonna play this clip and I want y'all to ask yourselves, is what Donald Trump doing hurting the black community, or is it helping the black community?
Here's the next thing we got to talk about, Bob and David. We have to. Okay. Because I think it's the most important thing that is being done to black people in quite some time. And that is on April the 28th. President Donald Trump signed an executive order called the Strengthening and Unleashing of America's Law Enforcement to sue criminals and protect innocent citizens. And I just want to read a couple little excerpts from this exec order. Number one, when local leaders demonize law enforcement and impose legal and political handcuffs that make aggressive enforcing of the law impossible, crime thrives and innocent citizens and small business owners suffer. So what he's saying right there is black mayors in black cities who don't let white police have their way with black people are a problem.
Wow.
And if you don't get out the way, if you do not get out the way of these racist white police, the federal government will take you to court and try to strip you of your office. Next, we will protect and defend law enforcement officers wrongly accused and abused. Here we go again, by state and local officials. So he is making it clear that if you are a black mayor of a black city, you better get out of our way, and you better not try to use any type of civil rights to protect your people from being assassinated, humiliated, and unfairly incarcerated by the white police structure. Then he says, my administration will work to ensure that law enforcement officers across America focus on ending crime, not pursuing harmful, illegal, race-based equity policy. Listen to that. Harmful race-based equity policy. So he's talking about the fact that he don't care if you don't have enough black police. He don't care if you ain't got enough black police chiefs. This is America. We are meritocracy. We are colorblind society, which we all know we're not, which is basically giving white police carte blanche right to blacks with the full support of the government. And if you are accused of unfair execution of a black person, we will pay your court fees. He even said they will pay for those lawyers, for those police to get legal representation. Then the Attorney General shall take all appropriate action to create a mechanism to provide legal resources and indemnification to law enforcement officers who unjustly incur expenses and liability for actions taken during the performance of their duty. Two more, and I'll stop. To provide best practices to state and local law enforcement to aggressively, he uses the word aggressively, he uses the word aggressively several times in this executive order, to aggressively police communities against all crimes. And then he also says that using national security assets for law and order within 90 days of the date of this executive order, the Attorney General and the Secretary of Defense, in consultation with the Secretary of Homeland Security and the heads of agencies as appropriate, shall increase the provision of military and national security assets in local jurisdictions to assist law enforcement. That is to say, Black America is going under a police state. We are going under martial law. Donald Trump has basically told the police you have the right to blacks, and you don't have to worry about being held accountable by the law. And I think the Shannon Sharp situation was used as a distraction away from these executive orders that Donald Trump has been signing this past week.
Wow. So,
All right. So, I guess the first thing I ask is, what would y'all expect for Trump to do other than secure their position in this country? One thing I learned about the educational system growing up is that it's more about control than giving people the ability to take care of themselves and to live healthy, productive lives. It's more about the control. It's more about the system having control over the people. So those that go through that system get those degrees, invest so much of their time and energy to get those degrees, only to realize that the people that are in control of the jobs that those degrees are in don't have your best interest in mind. And so if you want to utilize those degrees, you have to play by their rules. And what that does is basically turn your leaders against you. Anybody in positions of power are turned against you. And that system was developed because white people had to find a way to maintain control when black people were trying to fight for equal rights and all this type of stuff, right? They had to figure out ways to maintain control while giving the illusion that they're treating you fairly and equal. Trump, in my opinion, is not for those games. He's letting you know straight up, this is our country and we don't want you here. From my observation, one of the first things he did was come in and go after the corruption within the government, where white people was utilizing black people, was weaponizing black people to do their dirty work. He attacked that system where they found out they were stealing all type of money and stuff like. I imagine that the main people that was affected by that was the corrupted black people. He's going in there to try to break up that system. And it seems, based on the information Dr. Umar is giving here, that this police thing is to further assist with removing black people out of positions of power. But is that intended to harm or help? Because those people in those positions of power wanted to believe, like a lot of them wanted to believe that they were doing the right thing, that black and white can coexist and these people mean well. It's just a lot of bad people involved. But if we keep fighting for this system, it'll eventually do right. I think that they should know better at this point, that from what Trump is doing, he's making it clear that this system belongs to white people. Period. In a world where all the black people all over the world are starting to come together, make no mistake, black people are far from being in a weak position in the global scale of things. Africa is needed by everyone. Everybody needs Africa. And going to war over Africa is not a very smart thing to do. So they have to work with Africa, especially when Africa has something to offer everyone. You can't by Trump securing their offices of power and their positions of power in America, that helps them avoid any internal issues as it pertains to black people rising to power. You don't want to have a bunch of black people in your government knowing all your secrets and stuff like that, working with the African country as the African country starts to rise to power. And so basically, I take what he is doing as him doing what he's supposed to do. And I look at that as a good thing, because it's like they was holding your hand and now they're letting it go. They have been holding your hand, keeping you dependent on them and all this type stuff. And now they're saying you're on your own. You should have been on your own from the get-go. You should have never gave up your power. You should have never been dependent on them to put a roof over your head and clothes on your back, knowing what they've been doing to your people for thousands of years. They've been doing it more than just hundreds of years. It's been happening thousands of years. Right? Because that's the only way we could have got to this position we're in today. Is if white people have been plotting and planning this takeover, this world takeover, since pretty much the beginning of their existence on this planet. It takes time to do something like that. So they've definitely been working on that way more than 400, 500 years. It's been way more than just when slavery in America started, right? They've been plotting and scheming. They've been corrupted. They've been having that negative mindset towards. And it's understandable back in those days. You don't want to be wiped out genetically. I understand that. But today is a new age. We should all be trying to do better. And I say that's what Trump is trying to do, right? He's giving black people the boot, telling them, get out or deal with the reality of the situation. As I said, we should not be dependent on them to put a roof over our heads, clothes on our backs, shoes on our feet, food on our table. We should be fighting for our own independence. We should be separating into our own independent communities. With what is going on in Africa, do you really expect him to give up their position of power and say, oh, we all have equal rights in this country? No. That would just be handing over the power to black people. And so I don't even necessarily consider that an evil thing that he is doing. I think he's doing what he's supposed to do. If he wasn't doing that, they probably would have definitely been and tried to kill him by now. Turn it off, baby. Turn it off. Turn it off. Cause at first he just had one half of the white people going at him because those people had control over black people and using them for their dirty work. But had he not been focused on securing this country for white people, all white people would have been going after him. But it's not going to turn out well regardless, because at the end of the day, Black people are the economy of this country. No matter where we settle, we generate wealth. However we do it, we do it. Everybody else has just been leeching off of us. And so it's really helping the black community focus on the black community when he tells them they're no longer and I don't want to sit up there and say he's telling black people that they're not welcome in America, because he's doing what he believes is the right thing. I believe he is doing what he believes is the right thing to do. And that's you can't deny the racism in this country. So even though he may be doing what he believes is the right thing, I believe he also knows that racist people will abuse the things that he is doing. But at the same time, what else is it for him to do other than secure this country for his people, right? And from what I've been hearing from Dr. Umar, you're only at risk if you're not moving right. So, yes, that's going to affect a lot of black people. All they know is committing crimes. All they know is depending on this system. So, one thing's for sure, with him being completely honest with you and telling you this is what it is, we not sugarcoating it, we not hiding it. You either go somewhere else or you deal with it. I believe that's exactly what the black community needed, for them to realize that they need to be focused on themselves and coming together as a community.